शक्ति हमें देना दाता, मन का विश्वास कमजोर होना। हम न सोचे हमें क्या मिला है, हम ये सोचें किया क्या है अर्पण। फूल खुशियों के बांटे सभी को, सबका जीवन ही बन जाए मधुबन। अपनी करुणा का जल तू बहा कर, पावन हर एक मन का होना। हम चले नेक रास्ते पे, हमसे भूल कर भी कोई भूल होना। इतनी शक्ति हमें देना दाता, उनका विश्वास कमजोर होना।
So beautifully rendered, Ranjana ji, really nice. I request President of Rotary Club Chandigarh Midtown to come and give a formal welcome.
Good evening, President Dr. Sanjay Kalra, President Rotary Club Chandigarh Midtown, district dignitaries from Rotarians of different clubs, guests, Rotarians, and friends. I welcome you to this meeting on holistic health seminar to create awareness on health and wellness. Music mends minds. Another part, I'm sorry I can't explain as to what it would really mean to be here is from the guest speakers who come here, and I welcome you all, sir. The only thing that I can understand is probably soothe us and be more peaceful. Rotarian across the country or across the world probably celebrate this month as disease prevention and treatment, including malnutrition. And today's meeting meets the objective of the focus area of this Rotary International. Today also is a happy day. It's the Vijay Devas that we took it over from Pakistani 5,000 soldiers on this day. And that is a good celebration, and it's a good day to be happy about. That's the squad. And I hand over the proceedings to the Master. Thank you.
Dr. Willie. She's the only West Australian to feature in a book on inspirational stories for Indo-Australians. A graduate in Ayurvedic medicine and surgery from Punjab University, Chandigarh, Vidhu moved to New Zealand in 2003. 2010 and 11 brought utter destruction to all in a devastating earthquake. What does not kill you makes you stronger, she says. Rebuilding her home, she courageously worked for the community at large through the knowledge and principles of Ayurveda. She now runs Ayurveda for Wellness clinics. A highly awarded and recognized Ayurvedic doctor, Vidhu talks to us today. Vidhu, please.
Thank you so much, Tina ji, for that introduction. A very, very good evening to everyone. First and foremost, I would like to thank the Rotary Club of Chandigarh and also the Rotary Club of Chandigarh Midtown, Presidents Mr. Kapoor and Mr. Kalra. And I'll also take this opportunity to thank my very, very dear friend Salil, who's the ex-president of Rotary Club. And I've known Salil since the age of 6 years, I think. We studied together in YPS Mohali. I'm not going to tell you what year we were 6-year-olds because you're going to calculate our ages then. So thank you so much. And thank you so much to all the wonderful people who have actually given up your evening to be present here tonight. This evening actually is very, very special for me because here I stand, I take pride in standing on my Janmabhoomi, which is Chandigarh. So, born and raised in Chandigarh, and I'm going to stand here and talk to you all about my Karm Bhumi, which is Australia, because I'm currently residing and practicing Ayurveda in Australia. I have also been asked to actually take you through my journey of Ayurveda and also to let everyone know the work that has been happening when I talk about Ayurveda and what am I doing in Australia, and then we'll talk about some health and wellness tips as well. So, Anuchi, please. Thank you. I'm going to talk about the initiatives to promote Ayurveda in Australia. Of course, a huge thank you to the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, who's actually taken this initiative and established the Ministry of Ayush in 2014. And since then, he's been unstoppable actually. There's more and more work done in the field of Ayurveda, not just in India, but globally. And I am in the leading position and I'm in the leading role for promoting Ayurveda in Australia and to an extent in New Zealand as well. So I'm going to talk about, workshops, presentations and initiatives that we are taking. I work very closely with the Indian Embassy there and the Ministry of Ayush, Government of India. So what I've done in this presentation is to make it a little bit interesting. I have just added some photos. So Anuji, if you go through the slides, I'll just quickly take you through, what's happening in Australia and the work that is being done there. All right. So Ayurveda Day, as Honorable Prime Minister Modi announced, so it's celebrated all over the India as well as globally. So I actually, in conjunction, this is the Indian Consulate General in Perth, and the extreme right, the gentleman that you see is Mr. Amit Mishra, who was in 2018 the Consul General of India in Perth. So I worked very closely with him, and this was the very first Ayurveda Day seminar that was organized in Western Australia. So here are some pictures, and since then we haven't stopped. Every year we've been celebrating Ayurveda Day over there, along with the community, not just Indian community, but the wider community. Australians actually are way more interested than Indians in Australia over there. For Indians, it's a household practice. So, Ayurveda needs no introduction, but it's more important if the wider community and the local government participates. And through these slides, I'll show you how much of appreciation and how much support we're getting over there. All right, so the first, Ayush is Ayurveda, Yoga, Unani, Siddhi, Homeopathy. This is the ministry that was set up in 2014 that I have spoken about earlier by Prime Minister Modi. So in Australia, we organized the first Ayush International Conference, and of course, we got a lot of funding from the Ministry of Ayush as well as any kind of physical support as well, So we organized this in Melbourne, although I'm residing in Perth. Can we go on, please? So this is just the names from the Melbourne Ayush conference, and with me in the picture is the Honorable High Commissioner of India in 2018. He's changed since then, he retired and moved on. And this is the picture again. And if you see the Australians in the picture, that is the local government officials who have really supported our initiatives. Can we move on, please? All right. So while we started doing, and it's not just me, it's a team of doctors, and of course I am in the leading position, but there's nothing complete if the team doesn't work together. Excellent brains working together. And the first ever state visit from the Honorable President of India, first ever state visit to Australia. And again, this was in November 2018. Until that time, Ayurveda had already made an impact in the community. And with that, I represented Australian Ayurveda community in a special reception that was hosted, just to acknowledge the presence of Honorable President of India. So if you see, that's Shri Ramnath Kovind, our president who visited. So you can go on to the next slide, please, Anuji. Yes, and again from then, there are pictures for Ayurveda in 2020, and this is again the Indian Consulate General. And the lady next to me is the Consul General of India in Perth. Again, huge support. We can't do anything in Australia without support from the Indian Embassy. We can move forward, please. All right. And just the work that's happening in Ayurveda, and I work actually on social causes as well. So not just Ayurveda, but mental health, domestic violence, suicide prevention. So I'm quite involved in all those. And for that reason, I got the Citizen of the Year Award on Australia Day 2020. This is the mayor who's giving me the award. Anuji, we can move on. And again, I took the Ayurveda initiatives to the parliament as well in Australia, and it's just a glimpse, and that's the parliament in the background there. And again, as I said, I work for mental health as well, and Ayurveda has proved absolutely beneficial in the field of mental health. And for that, Australia especially holds Mental Health Week in the month of October every year. And again, I brought Ayurveda into that picture because the local community actually, when they seek consultations or Ayurveda therapies over there, there's a huge benefit, especially if I just focus not just on physical health, but mental health as well. All right. So this was India Connect 2021. And Australia. So Indian government and the Australian government have actually signed lots and lots of MOUs and treaties in the last 1 year to promote trade relations. And here is an example. But for me, I take pride in saying that Ayurveda now actually participates in all the government initiatives and promotions that are happening in Australia. I still remember when I was living in Chandigarh, Ayurveda was in the backseat, absolutely backseat. But now, not just in India, it's coming to the forefront around the globe. Yeah, you can move on. All right, so again, this is on the right is Mr. Manpreet Vora. He's got a big connection with Chandigarh. I think he studied from St. John's in Chandigarh. He's the High Commissioner of India to Australia. He's the current one. He took office last year, actually. So this is, can anyone tell me who's in the picture in the left? Steve-O, absolutely. So again, this was the Community Services Excellence Award, and this happened in Sydney last year. And we can go on. All right. So where Ayurveda is at the moment is this in the background, if you see, is the Governor House in Western Australia in Perth. So seeing the work that is happening in the promotion of Ayurveda there, he opened the gates of the Governor House, and there's a weekly session of yoga and Ayurveda held every Thursday in the Governor House. And it's open for anyone from the community to come forward and attend. It's a free community event, and it's the second year now that it's been happening. So again, for us as an Ayurveda community, very, very precious step, And this is again Ayurveda Day 2020 last year. So that's the local mayor. I work very, very closely with him. And this is again the Indian Embassy. Anuji, you can move forward. Right, and for again the work, of course, there was acknowledgement. So I got the Spirit of Australia award. Now, Spirit of Australia is the unstoppable attitude. No matter what, you just keep going, just keep going. So it was a very, very prestigious award that was conferred upon me. And again, for the work, mainly in Ayurveda and mental health. This is the very recent one on the 11th of November. Again, the Indian Embassy, again celebrating Ayurveda Day 2022. And this, of course, in the background, we have a lot of support from the Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India. Right, now Ayurveda in Australia, everyone, I'm sure all Indians are crazy. The cricket runs in our blood, right? So Australia hosted the World Cup, T20 World Cup just recently, and here the team was. And why I have added these slides is, you see Virat Kohli there, you see Rohit Sharma, and that gentleman on the left is a mental health coach for the Indian cricket team. When I met them for breakfast, and they visited my clinic as well. Actually, that's Paddy Upton. He actually requested for an Ayurveda health consultation, and he came to my clinic. So that's my clinic, if you see on the left. You know, they were very surprised to see how much of Ayurveda practice is happening in Australia. And we had a good discussion because while I didn't know actually the Indian cricket team is provided a special mental health coach just to look after and cater to their mental health. I was absolutely amazed. And what I'm trying to do is, if they have an Ayurveda practitioner attached and associated with the team, because while the Westerners, the physiotherapists, and they're focusing on mental health, why not? They should have an Ayurveda practitioner in the team as well. So that is what I'm working towards. Today here, also with me is traveling a chiropractor from Australia, and he has been in very close discussions with Rohit Sharma, our captain, to involve a chiropractor in the team as well. Can we move forward, please? All right, this is again very pride moments for all Indians residing in Perth. The Indian naval officers from the naval ship Sumedha, which visited Perth on the 15th of August, which was the 75th Independence Day of India celebration. So here again, now when I say I get a lot of support in my ventures from the local government, I mean, no matter how much Ministry of Ayush supports us, we can't do anything if we don't have support from the local Australian government. And this slide, that's the Honorable Mayor. He works very, very closely with us, and he's very supportive of no matter what ventures I take to him to his office, and he says, all right, let's do it together. And in the middle is Honorable Prime Minister of Australia, Anthony Albanese. Again, I took Ayurveda to him. Yes, he didn't know about Ayurveda, but now he does, right? And this is the Honorable Premier or the Chief Minister of Western Australia. Very, very supportive, again, of my ventures. India has also signed an MOU with Western Sydney University in November 2019 because we were pushing for a bachelor degree program in Australia. At the moment, Australia runs only diploma and advanced diploma in Ayurveda. We're pushing for a bachelor degree program, like a BMSc, right? So this is an MOU that was signed. Latest news, November 2022, Australia receives the gift of Ayush. So there's an academic chair in Ayurveda science, which is set up at the Western Sydney University in Australia. And Mr. Ram Gopal has been appointed, and he'll be taking a position soon. So it's a giant leap in terms of promoting Ayurveda education in Australia. Maybe in the coming 5 years, we'll have BMS degree that's actually running in Australia. We can skip that. Now, I made this trip not just to visit my family, but I was also representing Australia, and I was invited to present a country report on the work that has been happening in Australia in the field of Ayurveda. So I was in Goa. I don't know how many of you have heard that the Prime Minister Modi was there as well. Did anyone? Yes, I see some nods there. So I just returned from Goa. And this is the local federal member parliament, as well as the Minister for Early Childhood Education and Minister for Youth, a very, very dear friend of mine, who comes regularly for Ayurveda treatments. She sent a special message for the Ayurveda community. Let's go ahead. Can we skip that? Or do you want to listen to what she's saying? Okay. Now, this is just last week in Goa. So Minister of Ayush in the left, and that's the Secretary Ayush, Dr. Rajesh Kotecha, and this is the Chief Minister of Goa. So I met him on a special dinner that he hosted, just to recognize and acknowledge the work that's happening overseas, because I think even the government of India, they take pride when they see how much of Ayurveda is happening overseas. So I'm just talking about Australia, but it's happening all across the globe. And this is Mr. Antonio Morandi from Italy. And this he's held up high in the field of Ayurveda. He's Professor Tribuna, Padma Shri and Padma Bhushan awardee, and the former physician for the Honorable President of India. So the President of India always has an Ayurvedic doctor or Vaidya in his team, and Professor Tribuna is that person. Now, I also met with the Health Minister of Punjab recently, just a few days back, Mr. Chetan Singh Joramajra. He's very happy to take up the initiatives, Ayurveda initiatives locally, as well as some kind of tie in Australia. And of course, I had the opportunity to meet with the Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, and here's a picture with him. So this is what I'm going to take back to Australia from this trip. All right, thank you. That's the slide. But now coming back to Ayurveda. One question to you all. I want everyone to take a few seconds. Just think about 3 different things or people, anyone that you love the most. It could be anything. It could be a very valuable piece of jewelry. It could be a piece of clothing. It could be someone very, very dear in your life. It could be your husband, could be your wife, could be your partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, children. Take a few seconds to think about it. I want everyone to think about it. Who's going to raise their hand and share it? Only if you want. Oh, look at him. Arjun is there. My mom? No, it's not. All right. Thank you. That's my little one, Arjun. Thank you. Thank you, Arjun. Yes.
I love myself.
You love yourself.
I love my parents.
Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you. Anyone else who would like to? I'll take just that last person. Anyone? Who's got the list they want to share? Only 3 people.
I would love to do yoga there.
You would like to do yoga?
And that's it. Look at the surrounding. Beautiful. Everything is
Everything is there.
there.
It is. Yeah. Time permitting, I'll do one step of yoga. All right, for you. Thank you so much. Why I asked that question was, now standing here and talking about Ayurveda, I think it's a bit meaningless because Ayurveda for us Indians, it's in us, right? For the Western world, it's okay. They're selling turmeric over there. I go to expos and they're selling turmeric water over there. They're just taking a packet of turmeric, a teaspoon out of that, mixed with water, and trust me, Australians, $15 for a 50-gram, 100-gram packet, selling like mad. Absolutely. And when they offer me, please paste it, I said, I've grown up with this, I was taught, don't cook anything. My mom's here in the audience, don't cook anything without haldi in that, right? That's the importance of haldi. And that is what Ayurveda is, right? But you should, I don't know how many of you have visited Australia, please come and see how crazy they are about haldi. Haldi is Ayurveda for us, right? So I'm not going to stand here and talk about Ayurveda and not letting you know what Ayurveda is. But very, very important. I think it's high time we look after ourselves. And the question that I asked, 3 people that are important, right? Of course, the little one is, of course, parents are the most. But thank you so much. I think she needs a round of applause for the answer that she has given us. She said, myself, it is time that we take that first and foremost step and start looking after ourselves. Plane में भी जब हम जाते हैं, the safety instructions is पहले oxygen खुद पहनिए, right? खुद पहनेंगे, you might be able to see 10 people there. But our values, our cultural values, especially Indians, मैं भी खुद अभी हम अपने आप को सबसे पीछे रखते हैं, right? Especially in the family. I'll also talk more importantly about women. Husbands का ध्यान रखना, parents का रखना, बच्चों का रखना, उसमें हम कहाँ पीछे रह जाते हैं? We don't realize that, right? Time has come. Please take good care of your health. Very, very important. खुद स्वस्थ रहेंगे तो साथ में जितनी family members हैं आप उनकी मदद कर पाएंगे. Ayurveda is not just मैंने क्या सीखा गोवा में. I used to tell people Ayurveda is the science of life. What I've learned in Goa is no more I'm going to say Ayurveda is the science of life. Ayurveda is the knowledge of life. Science is an understatement for what Ayurveda is. हम क्या खाते हैं, किस समय खाते हैं, किस तरह बनाते हैं उसको, पानी उसके साथ कब पीते हैं, that is all Ayurveda. अगर हम वो we make those diet and lifestyle changes, हमें शायद डॉक्टर के पास जाने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी apart from the medical emergency. 85% हमारी जो बीमारियां हैं can be cured just by correcting how we are leading our life. हम क्या कर रहे हैं, हम कैसे खाना बना रहे हैं, कैसे उसको खा रहे हैं, पानी कब पी रहे हैं, थोड़ा आप I'm sure there are Ayurvedic doctors around, please उनसे मिले, थोड़ा सा just taper the way you leading your life, and health is not too far actually. जान है तो जहान है, थोड़ा सा अपना नजर बदलने का, मैं I'll also take this opportunity to say that नजर बदलोगे तो नजारे बदल जाएंगे, कश्ती का रुख बदलोगे तो किनारे बदल जाएंगे। आज वो टाइम है कि हम नजर बदलें और नजारे बदलें और कश्ती का रुख बदलें और कश्ती का रुख उस डायरेक्शन में जहां पे हमारी हेल्थ के लिए सबसे अच्छा है। आयुर्वेदा को अपनाइए प्लीज। बैक टू पंच महाभूत, पृथ्वी जल तेज वायु आकाश, जिनसे हमारा ये शरीर बना है, एंड आयुर्वेदिक प्रिंसिपल्स आर बेस्ड ऑन दैट। वो आप उसको मतलब नंगे पांव सैर करनी सुबह गार्डन में, पृथ्वी जल पानी पीना, कितना पानी पीना इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, तेज सनलाइट लेनी, वायु फ्रेश एयर में सैर, आकाश अपना टाइम मी टाइम, कोई एक आधा घंटा दिन में रखिए जिसमें कुछ ना करें, किसी के लिए कुछ ना करें, खाली बैठे दीवार पे देखें, बट जस्ट फॉर योरसेल्फ। दैट इज व्हाट पृथ्वी जल तेज वायु आकाश इज, दैट इज व्हाट आयुर्वेदिक प्रिंसिपल्स आर। So it is high time, I think we all, COVID ने हमें यही सिखाया, how to value our life। मेरी इंट्रोडक्शन में टीना जी ने बताया न्यूजीलैंड earthquake, you know, I was like 1 inch away from dying, TV smashed here, थोड़ा सा आगे होता तो मैं चले जाती। वहां से यही सोचा कि नहीं, you know, life has a bigger meaning, तो कश्ती का रुख बदला और किनारे सच में बदल गए, तो ऊपर वाले ने बहुत साथ दिया। With that, मैं मेरा बड़ा दिल था, मैंने पिछली बार में एक आसन करके दिखाया था, इस बार भी थोड़ा सा अपनी बैक को स्ट्रेट रखने के लिए, would you want to? और मैं I think I've taken a lot of time, right? Can I do it? Okay, I'll just use this. मैं थोड़ा सा ये बोलूँगी, everything, we got a chiropractor, of course he's gonna talk about how important our spine is, right? सब कुछ यहीं से निकलता है, all nerves यहाँ से निकलती हैं, the entire connection to the body is all happening with the nerves, और बैक को सब, मेरा खुद का, मैं सुबह ऐसे होती हूँ पर शाम तक मेरा ऐसा होता है, कितने लोगों का ऐसा होता है, मतलब सभी का हो जाता है, हाँ सभी का होता है, and that is where the damage is done। तो थोड़ी सी एक चीज, योगा का एक रूल है, कभी भी अपने आप को हम फोर्स ना, अगर इतने ही हाथ आगे जाते हैं तो इतने रखें, आप देखेंगे 2 दिन में यहाँ जाएंगे फिर यहाँ जाएंगे, you know, तो फोर्स हमने कभी नहीं करना। Let me show you something that I do, और मेरी उससे बैक को आराम मिलता है और मैं अगले दिन के लिए फिर से कर लेती हूँ। So excuse me, I'm gonna have my back towards the audience because I want to see how I want you all to see how I keep my spine, and थोड़ा small steps but steady steps, and you reach the goal, right? Okay. So पद्मासन जो भी कोई कर लेता, right? I'll do it here. ऐसे कर सकते हैं आप, पीठ को सीधी करने के लिए, मेडिटेशन कितने लोग करते हैं? Yes? तो आज से थोड़ा सा चेंजेस, मेडिटेशन आप अगर इस तरह बैठ के करें, थोड़ा यहाँ तक जाता है, यहाँ तक धीरे
This is very tough.
It is tough, but not impossible. Tough but impossible. When I started, I used to go till here and here and here. Gradual, slow, but steady, right? But see how मैं ऐसे खड़ी थी, but when I have done that, automatically correction of the spine, right?
Don't force it.
I'm not going to talk much on the spine because we've got a specialist who treats the clients and patients just from the spinal cord, all right? On that note, I think बहुत ज़्यादा मैंने time ले लिया, Mr. Kalra की तरफ में देख ही नहीं रही, maybe you know he's a bit come to forget. Thank you so very much. Thank you so much. मुझे यहाँ बुलाने के लिए और कुछ सुनने के लिए, और Mr. Kalra, Mr. Kapoor, and your entire team of Rotary Club, Salil, my dear friend, and this evening is very, very precious on another note for me because I've got my family. इन लोगों को मैं photo भेजती हूँ कि आज मैं यहाँ ये किया वो किया, but tonight they're sitting here and they're actually seeing me live in action थोड़ा सा. So thank you so much. स्वस्थ रहिए, मस्त रहिए और व्यस्त रहिए. बहुत जरूरी है काम में मस्त रहना, किसी हॉबी में मस्त रहना, अपनी सेहत का ख्याल रखना बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है. And inshallah next time I feel जब I come to Chandigarh, now the whole COVID thing is over, we will meet again, and till then I wish you a very healthy and peaceful life. Thank you so much.
Very encouraging and informative indeed. Going to force us to look at ourselves. And now we have Dr. Archie. First he took me back to my comic days. I said, oh wow, I was dying to see who is Archie. And there comes a young little boy. He says, sky is the limit. And anything can be achieved with hard work and dedication. A qualified chiropractor, that's how you pronounce it? Chiropractor from Australia. He strongly believes in giving back to the society and thus combines his medical knowledge with alternate therapies like Ayurveda from the Indian heritage to give his patients an optimum level of mental, emotional, and physical health. This graduate from Murdoch University is a blue belt karate, so no pangas please. Loves music, outdoor activities, and meeting new people to enhance his personal and professional development. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Archie.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for the introduction, and a special thank you to Rotary Club Chandigarh, Rotary Club Chandigarh Midtown, and the presidents, Mr. Kalra and Mr. Nicole. So my presentation today is going to be on chiropractic science. I'm not sure how many of you have actually heard about chiropractic before. Anyone here? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to talk a bit about myself to begin with. I was born in a family with rich Ayurvedic beliefs and values, and having that complementary medicine engraved in my mind since a very young age, and strong interest in sports, I started studying chiropractic in 2015. I graduated in 2020 from Murdoch University with distinction and completed a double major degree, taking 5 years to complete. So since then, I've treated patients from all walks of life and through diverse backgrounds, including Australian Football League athletes, CrossFit athletes, weightlifters, powerlifters, and many more. So the age of my clients varies right from 1 month old right through to my oldest patient being 92 years of age, who now, so that 92 years of age patient is actually now driving his car to come visit me in my clinic. Okay, so next thing is, what is chiropractic? So chiropractic is already very popular and quite established in countries like America, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. But my vision here today is to introduce and establish chiropractic services in India, especially in my hometown, Chandigarh. The name chiropractic actually comes from the Greek word, which means the use of hand. Okay. What we do is we specialize in the nervous system and we work very closely with the spinal cord. We look for what we call subluxations, as they can interfere with the brain's function with the rest of the body. Okay. So what is a subluxation? Subluxation is an umbrella word for when the spine is not sitting in its correct orientation. Okay. And what can happen from that is it can start to irritate and compress the nerves that are coming up from the spine. So when you get adjusted, we fix those subluxations and we improve the brain's capacity to communicate with the rest of the body. Okay, so what's so special about the spine? Okay, so people often refer to the spinal cord and vertebral column together as the spinal cord is a, okay, so what the spinal cord is a band of tissues, nerves, and cells, okay? There is a protective layer of a bone called the vertebral column that covers and protects the spinal cord. The spinal cord is the brain's connection to the rest of the body, okay? It helps connect our brain to our muscles, tissues, and organs. We have 31 pairs of spinal nerves that exit our spine and help connect our brain to the rest of our body. Okay, so at a given time, there are about 3 trillion nerve signals that are happening through our nervous system each second. Okay, out of those 3 trillion, we are only aware of about 50 of them. Okay, so it's very important to see that we can have a problem in our body long before that we can detect it. Okay, and the most important thing is don't rely on pain to go see a doctor. Okay, next slide, please. So what does a chiropractor do? Okay. So chiropractic adjustment is also called a spinal manipulation. It is a procedure done by a chiropractor using the hands or small instruments, okay? It is an applied controlled force to a spinal joint. The goal is to improve spinal motion and physical function of the entire body. Chiropractic helps by releasing the spinal joints that are restricted. In turn, helps to re-establish the normal motion back into that joint again. By doing so, the muscles that attach the joints relax and are able to communicate with the brain properly. Okay? The re-establishment of the spinal joint motion also helps to free up the pathway from the signals from the brain to the rest of the body. Okay, so main health concerns in the majority of the population and how a chiropractor can help. Okay, so I've listed a few things that are currently a big problem in our society. Things like chronic backache, neck pain, muscles dystrophy, cervical spondylosis, lumbar spondylosis, high blood pressure, frozen shoulder, sciatica, knee and foot pain, and diabetic polyneuropathy. Okay, so this slide over here, in chiropractic, we call it the triad of health. Okay, so you've got structural, emotional, and chemical well-being. Okay, all 3 things need to be in what we call homeostasis for the body to be within the normal limits. Structure being obviously the posture, if you sustained any injuries or traumas in the past. Onto emotional. Emotional being obviously if you've got any emotional distress in the body, that can also impact your spinal health. Third of all being chemical well-being, okay? So that includes things like what you're putting in your body, how well you're eating, drugs and alcohol. Also, if your vitamins and minerals are up to the required limits. Okay, so I've got a few pictures that I've added. This picture, as you mentioned before, was with the Honourable Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, and this was in Goa on 11th December, okay? The next picture here, we've got me promoting chiropractic science with the Honourable CM of Goa on the left and Professor Uganal on the right. The next one here is me receiving an award for health promotion through chiropractic science from he was a doctor from Germany. Okay, so last thing I want to finish on is take home advice. All right, so there's a few things that I'm going to talk about. First things I want to talk about is things to change. Okay, have you got many office workers in here or people that are sitting in a desk for a long time? Yep. So this one's going to be for you. So with the desk, there's a few things that you can change to make sure that your posture is upright. Okay. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that your monitor is within eye level and that you're not looking to have look too far up or too far down. Okay. The mouse and keyboard should always be within reach. Okay, not too far out and not too far in. The last of all being the chair. Okay, so I'm sure you all have adjustable chairs where they can move up and down. So it's very important to keep the chair high. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to ensure that our hips are higher than your knees. Okay, if that remains, your lower back will sit in the right posture. Next thing is car setup, right? With the car, there's not obviously a whole lot you can do because the car was designed for protection, not for ergonomics of the body. So the best thing in a car that you can do is you can crank the lumbar support. I'm not sure if you know, there's a little toggle on the side. Just cranking that up to ensure that your lumbar spine is the way that it should be. Third of all, sleeping posture. Okay, so how many out of all of us are tummy sleepers? No? Okay. So tummy sleeping in chiropractic is a big no. Okay, so you want to ensure that we're sleeping on our back, as our spine is the most neutral when we're lying on our back. Okay. A few things to add in. Okay, exercising is very important. Meditation, yoga, a balanced nutrition, making sure that you're having enough protein, carbohydrates, and fats as well. Okay. Supplements when required. This is a whole new topic. So if you have any questions about supplements and what you should be taking, you can contact me after my presentation. Last of all is stretches. Okay. I've got a stretch that I want to demonstrate. If I can get everyone to stand up, that's right. Please, I want to demonstrate a quick stretch. Just to note, if you've got any chronic low back issues, please don't stress yourself any more than you can, okay? So basically what we're going to do, this is for the low back. You want to stand in a fence stance. So one leg in front of the other. Okay, what we're going to do from here is we're going to lunge forward slightly, with that back leg still being straight, and we're going to lunge down. Okay, and if you're doing it correctly, you should be feeling a stretch on your back leg. Okay, this is a muscle called psoas. Doing the stretch for about 30 seconds a day, a few times a week, is going to help straighten your lower back. Can anyone feel that on their back leg? Yeah. So yeah, straightening your back leg, not lunging. Right. Angling down again. And you should feel that all the way through there. Cool. Okay, so the last thing that I want to leave this presentation with is a quote by B.J. Palmer. B.J. Palmer was the founder of chiropractic, right? What he said was, the preservation of health is easier than the cure of disease. So pretty much what this means is it's better to look after yourself and your body throughout your life rather than going in to see a doctor when it's completely too late, okay? So regular health checkups and making sure that you're looking after yourself. Perfect, thank you.
The talk sessions have been divided into two parts, and the second one is called Session 2 Holistic Health Seminars and deals with music mends the mind. Now, before we get into any of this, I think we can do with a bit of music because we have a pure DNA singer with us, MS Guleria, grandmother and her mother, Dolly Guleria, Surinder ji, everybody are requested to come and give us a little bit of a song. Please.
Good evening, everyone. I'm here on Dr. Balram Gupta's invitation, and of course, I've been Dr. Sanjay Kalra's patient, so I'm actually waiting to hear that how is it that any kind of music is going to heal the terrible dental pain that one gets. Having studied in Melbourne, there's a whole lot of memories that you have taken me back to. And well, I won't take much of your time. Obviously, I'm not here to have a sing-song session, but very keenly all ears to know how music and therapeutic music, which at least I feel, as we all know, that during COVID, 82% of the world turned to music for healing. So I also promote and practice that, and I teach music. And very happily have had children who are autistic, children with disabilities, and yes, a whole lot of senior citizens who have not been able to cope up with ill health and situations where children have abandoned them and have come to my workshop for an hour and not wanting to go home for even 3 hours. So it's a wonderful, wonderful feeling. And सारे बैठे हैं, सारी माँ नो, मेरी माँ डॉली गुलेरिया, मेरी नानी बीबी सुरेंद्र कौर नो सारे बहुत प्यार नाल, बड़ी मोहब्बत नाल तुसी हमेशा सुने ਤੇ ਉਸੇ ਵਿਰਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਅੱਗੇ ਤੋਰਦੇ ਹੋਏ ਅੱਗੋਂ ਹੁਣ ਮੇਰੀ ਬੇਟੀ, my daughter is studying psychology and she wants to go into forensic psychology. I don't know where she's going to land up, but anyway, so we are all involved in evolving a program where we are able to talk about wellness and good health and music and the power of music as a healing factor. So looking forward to connecting with you and taking this ahead. सारे बड़े शांत से चुपचाप बैठे ने, पंजाबियों की फितरत नहीं है इन्ने शांत से आराम नाल बैठन दी, तो थोड़ी ताड़ियां बजाओ, थोड़ा नींद आए, है ना? लट्ठे दी चादर उत्ते सने की रंग माया, आबो सामने बोलो नी उसके ना रंग माया, हाय लट्ठे दी चादर हो मैं इत्थे ते तोला पर्वत वे, मैं इत्थे ते तोला खुशे, हो मैं इत्थे ते तोला पर्वत, हो साडी खुई दा पानी शरबत, लट्ठे दी चादर उत्ते सने की रंग माया, आबो सामने बोलो नी उसके ना रंग माया. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Super. I request Rotary and Dr. Ruby Ahuja to please come and talk about introduction to holistic health science music men's minds.
Hey everybody, it was such a beautiful song, Sam. Thank you so much, ma'am. And it was just a culmination of holistic health. And so let's talk about the next session. So the next session, I would like to first introduce Anubhav. So Anubhav is a second year student from of neuroscience major in UCLA. He has combined his passion for music and medicine by taking part in Music Men's Minds. As a classical trained Indian classical percussionist, since a percussionist is an instrument which my husband told me, I wasn't aware of it. It's a musical instrument. He's been playing that since 5 years. So Anubhav has pursued music his whole life and now hopes to utilize his own skills and serve his local community at UCLA. While pursuing medicine as an aspiring physician, scientist Anubhav has also taken part in various on-campus, and he revolves around providing care and advocacy for neurodegenerative diseases like Parkinson's, dementia, Alzheimer's, etc. By being part of the Music Men Minds, Anubhav hopes to give back to his local and global community by intertwining the fields of science, medicine, and music. Yes, and we have an online session also by Carol Port-Rosentine. I think she should be here online live. She is the co-founder and executive director for Music Men's Mind INC. So Dr. Carol is an educator and a pioneer in the field of holistic 940 medicine. After her career as a chiropractor, she became interested in total mind body health and acquired masters in transformation psychology to help her further develop into alternative and contemporary medicine. Dr. Carol became very interested in the power of music as a form of acoustic and art and a therapy. After she observed her husband Irwin, who had Parkinson's and dementia, and he played piano, and she watched him revive like wilted flowers when they are watered. Carol recognized the power of music changing brain chemistry, which eventually led to the transformation of Music Men's Mind INC and the flagship band, Fifth Dementia. She continues to advocate for the power of music, which is collaborated by the scientific community, and it will bring pure joys in increased brain functioning to the patients suffering from neurodegenerative disorders like dementia, PTSD, and the care, it helps the caregiver and the family members of these diseases. So thank you so much, and we welcome you everyone. And also,
Hello, everyone. Nice to meet everyone here. We might have to open up through the Google Slides presentation because there's a video or two also in the play. So you might not have to download it. While that's going on, first of all, I would like to thank Chandigarh Rotary Club, Midtown Rotary Club, Dr. Sanjay Kalra, President Kapoor, and specifically Mrs. Kalra for giving me the opportunity and the platform to advocate for Music Men's Mind and really just give myself the ability to talk up today. But if you can just click the slideshow button at the very top right, that should do the trick. At the top, you can at the very top right, yeah. If you move the mouse all the way to the right, you'll see slideshow next to the yellow button share. Yeah, right there. Just slideshow. Thank you. So just as a little introduction to myself, again, thank you for the amazing introduction. My name is Anubhav. I'm a second-year neuroscience student at UCLA in California. I'm actually a neuroscience major, and so the story goes that Music Men's Mind is a nonprofit organization out in California near my campus, and I had just previously joined this organization in October. And after that, as I'm a admissions assistant and helping Carol advocating for this organization, we get an email from Mrs. Kalra saying, we're Rotary Club in Chandigarh, and we were hoping if you could present here. And Carol asked me, do you know where Chandigarh is? And I'm like, Chandigarh, really? So the story goes, I'm actually born from Chandigarh. I was born here, and my parents and I, we actually left when I was 3 years old. The US. My mom is a registered RN, and due to that whole process of exporting nurses back then, I was given the opportunity to live in the US. And on the other side, my dad is a Indian classical percussionist with a master's in Hindustani music from Punjab University as well. So with all this, it was pretty crazy for me to think that I just joined this organization in October, and now I'm given the opportunity to present in my own hometown back in India just a few months later. So again, for that opportunity, I would like to thank everyone. Thank you for being here. And I do hope that I can enlighten you all in terms of what music has done for people in my community, what I hope it does for people around the world. And specifically, I hope MMM does, or Music Men's Mind, what it does for Chandigarh and all the people who are suffering from all these neurodegenerative diseases here. So yeah, with that introduction, I think we can move on. If you just go back one. So today, basically what I'll be talking about is I'll be giving you a glimpse of what Music Men's Mind does. So I'll be giving you our story, what we do as an organization, our research, and our global initiative in which Rotary International takes place. So basically, Music Men's Mind is a nonprofit organization that creates musical support groups for individuals with Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, dementia, and any PTSD or any type of neurodegenerative diseases. Our vision as an organization is to foster worldwide communities amongst afflicted individuals, all in the hopes that we can impact both the caregivers and the patients who are facing these types of diseases. And we hope that we can really provide them a unique escape, especially when they're going through these tough diseases. And we hope to do this through socialization and especially most specifically through music. So basically, if I can just give you the background of our story. In 1985, Carol, who is the executive founder of this organization, met with her husband, Erwin. And in 2006, Erwin was unfortunately diagnosed with Parkinson's and dementia. So with this 15-year struggle with dementia and Parkinson's, Carol actually enrolled Erwin in 2014 into the Alzheimer's and Dementia Patient Care Program at UCLA Medical Clinic. And through this clinic, what was being done is music therapy was being given. So music therapy in the sense that Erwin was given the piano and he started playing the piano. And interestingly enough, what Carol noticed was that when Irwin would start playing the piano, all his dementia symptoms, they would all go away. So after witnessing the dramatic transformation, in August of 2014, Carol launched Music Men's Minds, in which what she tried to do is that she wanted to give music therapy not only to her husband, but to other individuals facing Alzheimer's, dementia, and the tremors that are follow these types of diseases and the neurodegenerative diseases as well. So today, fast forwarding to today, as you can see, Music Men's Mind has gone international in more ways than one. We have not only been creating music groups internationally, but we have been able to create online platforms on Zoom in which we give music therapy to both patients and individuals all around the world. So just as a brief introduction, I have a little video I was hoping to play.
Some 15 years ago, my darling husband, Irwin, was given an early Parkinson diagnosis. Bringing the music into our lives and into the lives of others helped to turn darkness into day. Music Men's Minds is a global nonprofit serving seniors who have neurodegenerative issues using a new language called music. To play a musical instrument is like a full body workout for the brain. We had over 20 bands pre-pandemic. People who were having difficulty speaking suddenly were speaking because they had been singing seconds before. It was phenomenal. COVID closed all of those opportunities down. It was a very dark hour. Then the music therapist said to me, Carol, there's something called Zoom. Good morning today. It's such a special day. And what a gift, bringing joy right into our homes in isolation. It just does something in your brain. And Sam remembers an enormous amount of music. And it brings you back to a happier time, of course. Beautiful. My darling husband, Irwin, passed about 9 months ago from COVID. At that time, he was bedridden, unresponsive, but when I was singing, he was hearing, he was feeling, and he was responding. It's like a rebirth. You found magic to be able to get through the darkness. With more people getting vaccinated, we're starting to see bands ignite again. There's nothing like being together and hearing the voices in person. It's exhilarating, more so now than ever. We all need each other together. It's about the music, it's about the magic of music, it's about the medicine that music is. We are on to something great. Some 15 years ago,
So, just after that beautiful little introduction of that video, as you can see, Music Men's Mind is an organization that really focuses on how we can provide music therapy in different forms and formats. As you can see on the very first bullet, what our main focus is to create musical bands. In these musical bands, what we do is we hope to really, put patients facing neurodegenerative diseases on a pedestal, put them in front of the audience, in front of people, and show them that just because you're facing these diseases, or just because you have Alzheimer's and dementia, that doesn't mean you're exempt from the rest of the world. So with musical bands, what we hope to do is, in many of these patients, they're working in professional bands and they're learning how to play music. They're rehearsing specific pieces and specific musical scripture. And what they're doing is that they're number one, they're learning hand-eye coordination that they were never able to first understand or even learn how to do. And another thing, they're able to advocate for themselves indirectly. What we also do is we make drum circles. So drum circles were really a product of Zoom because during COVID, a lot of these in-person bands that would have rehearsals were not able to be executed. So drum circles were a product post-COVID in which we'll bring all of the remaining individuals who were previously in our musical bands and were not able to really contribute or really, really participate as much. What we did was that we would bring over this big group of individuals. We make a little circle, as quite literally a drum circle, and we would give them percussive instruments, and we would have a band leader who then would, help them play music physically. And this really, negotiated for the fact that even though you're not in a musical band and you're not performing, there's just everyday interaction of playing with music physically in your hands and, playing on your drums or doing something in a very physical hand-to-hand manner. It helped us the same way that our musical bands did as well. And for those patients who were not able to come in person, what we did is we also made 3 weekly Zoom sessions for an hour each, in which we partner with certified music therapists and we provide neurodegenerative patients with Zoom sessions with music. And we try to, kind of interface with them on Zoom, on face-to-face on the computer, and through various actions or various drum beats or heartbeats or shakers, we try to give them that musical interaction that might not be there in person. And last of all, what we try to do with Music Men's Mind is we try to collaborate. As you can see, as a testament to that, with myself here today, Music Men's Mind is really a product of the people that make it. What we try to do is we want to collaborate with people all around the world, and we want to collaborate with not only patients, but we want to collaborate with our scientific community. So as you can see, within our research, while we have had a collective of large amounts of research that we have with individuals from NYU and Cornell and things of that nature with very high impact medical facilities. I just kind of put everything down to a short bullet of this so I can kind of cover through. So patients of Alzheimer's, dementia, and Parkinson's, as we saw, face many neurological deficits that are still untreatable by modern day medicine. Many medications or treatments that are expensive and accessible to the public, or they have serious and very unfortunate side effects. And something else very unfortunate is that every 3 seconds while we just sit here and present, while I'm presenting, every 3 seconds someone is being diagnosed with dementia. So you can just imagine how large scale of impact these types of diseases have on our everyday society. So one thing that we really have noticed is our brain is pretty much like our own personal pharmacy. So if you don't mind, could you raise your hand for anyone who's gone to the pharmacy to pick up medication for themselves or loved ones or family members? Please raise your hands.
Always.
See, that's the thing. I was really hoping no one raised their hands, but unfortunately, in the society we live in today, medications and things of that nature are really just how we have to get by. So as you can see, we have such a big emphasis on modern day medicine, and all the previous presenters so beautifully talked about Ayurvedic medicine and all these alternative medications. Why do we do this? We do this to really circumvent all the negative impacts that modern day medicine does have. We do have cures, but alongside those, we have some certain side effects that are sometimes, when you do a cost benefit analysis, is it really worth taking those medications for? And what we really saw in our research is that our brain is basically like our own personal pharmacy. Neurologists that we've talked to often say that music is medicine for the brain. And why is that, you would say? That is because music helps stimulate an increase in dopamine secretion from the brain for more sustained levels of energy and happiness. So this is the scientific reason that the more you interact with music, the more you have this physical interaction with notes and melodies and different percussive instruments, your dopamine levels are higher, which as you all know, it increases the ability of elation and happiness and energy. And this is very important with people with dementia and Alzheimer's, as sometimes, as we all know, they're very low in, just the internal happiness, and even in dopamine levels, they have lower levels of that. So that's what we've seen scientifically, is that the more people interact with music, the higher the dopamine levels are. And another thing that we've seen is that music has some sort of interaction with your body's own memory cells. A lot of these times, individuals, they might not be able to remember their own names, their own family members, loved ones, or things of that nature. But if you were to play if you were to play a song that was played 80 years ago when they were little kids running around, they will remember that. And that's why music is, it's sort of that silent hand that keeps on pushing us forward. Because even if you don't know your own loved ones, family members, or things of that nature, what we've seen is that patients, if you were to play music for them, they'll remember that music. They'll start humming to it. They'll start tapping with their fingers. So that's really again what really forces us to keep Music Men's Mind forward. So if you can move on to the presentation. This is just a quick little video that really physically shows what I've been talking about. So if you could just give that a quick play, thank you.
Hello, my name is Dora Fonseca. I am a board certified music therapist. I work for a great organization called Melody Music that partners with Music Men's Minds to bring this incredible programming. So to give me like a little summary of your morning, like what is your breakfast?
I'm gonna go downstairs and my maybe and they don't
Thank you. Now we're gonna do a little rhythmic. It's called rhythmic priming. So basically, our brain naturally tends to rhythm. So a lot of people, like if you start clapping a beat by like the second, you're a musician, but most people like third or fourth beat, they can join into the pattern. They don't have to, exactly, they can get into the pattern. So what I'm going to do first is just have you listen to some tapping. The point is that I'm wanting you to just kind of listen in and focus in on the rhythm, and then focus in. I'll let you know when you can join in tapping. So first, we're gonna prime your get acclimated to the tempo, and then it's rhythmic. So the first thing we're gonna do is just kind of try to sync your breath. All right, now one more thing. You tell me again what you have to do, but keep it happening.
I had fish and rice, rice, and cats around the table. And music was playing, and the phone was on stereo, and I had a good time.
Yeah, so that was, really a physical representation of what we try to do with Music Men's Mind. And moving on, what we also try to do with our global initiative is that we've been given the amazing opportunity to partner with Rotary International, which is how we met here today. And Rotary International really took part with us during COVID-19, where they really saw what we were trying to do on Zoom, and they gave us a platform to, further our outreach and really further the impact that our bands can have. So now we're trying to work with various Rotary International organizations, not only in Chandigarh, but on different continents. And what we're trying to do is make various different brands, make various different drum circles, and just increase the impact of Music Men's Mind across the world. So, and one thing I would say is that this is very easily done on Zoom, which is, I guess, a very good plus point. So on Zoom, we are able to really show the knowledge that we have to various different people all around the world. And we do hope to work with Chandigarh as well and be given that opportunity. And this is just a quick overview of our current MMM project. So I know I touched upon the music bands, the Zoom session, and the drum circles. So for specifically Rotary International, we're partnered with Rotary International to further expand MMM's vision and increase access to music-based therapy and band/drum circles. And something specifically locally within our LA community is that we have recently collaborated with the Los Angeles County, and we've been given a grant for a large sum amount of money to start creating dementia-free cities. So dementia-free cities are basically cities that are friendly to individuals facing neurodegenerative diseases. So we've been given the opportunity to work with the county and the city of Los Angeles to create more than 10 plus music bands all across our counties in cities such as Redlands, Los Angeles, Riverside, and really just, again, show that Music Men's Mind is not just a local phenomenon, but it can be expanded across local and global borders. And this is just a quick little picture of our previous events. So as you can see on the top left is just one of our concerts that we had previously pre-COVID era. And in the middle, in the top middle, is one of our drum circles that we have. As you can see, we give everyone djembe drums and they can kind of, physically play on drums and get that interaction going. And then on the bottom is just a few more pictures. So that concludes my presentation today. Again, I would just like to thank Dr. Sanjay Gola, Mrs. Gola, and the rest of the Rotary International team here at Chandigarh and Midtown Chandigarh for giving this opportunity today. Yeah, and hey Carol, so Carol, my executive director for MMM, is online right now from LA at very early 6 a.m. in the morning. So again, give her a round of applause. Carol, if you want to give your few words, I don't know if you can hear me. But...
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, I'm speechless, Anu. You are an orator. At your tender age, I'm hearing you in action and I'm blown away. You are completely amazing. Good morning from Los Angeles. It's kind of early for me. I got my jammies on from the waist down. This is the fun of Zoom. So thank you for Rita. Thank you. Where are you, Rita? Can I see Rita? Hi, Rita. Thank you. Yes, thank you for reaching out to Music Men's Minds. The ability for technology to bring us together is quite staggering. And that Anu is from your region. I mean, talk about the synchronicity of the universe. The whole story is crazy. So yes, we are promoting music to people around the world. Our mission is to directly impact the lives and quality of human beings suffering from these terrible diagnoses, Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's, that has no cure. And we do have the blessing that within our own brains, we've got our own pharmacies. And these pharmacies never close. And somehow the music making event opens up our own pharmacies and our own neurotransmitters flush out of our brains into our bloodstreams. All kinds of chemicals, including dopamine, etc. And it is a total miracle that once these neurotransmitters flush into our brains, we feel better, we talk better, look better, walk better. It's just a total miracle that these pharmacies are available to us 24/7. So Music Men's Minds, and God bless Rotary. I'm sure that Anu showed you the magazine. That was my huge surprise when I went to pick up my mail in May, and I'm looking down on the floor as I'm about to pick up the mail, and it's me. And so this shows that Rotary International has heard our call, and it is our absolute blessing to be able to share this amazing fact that music is medicine for the mind. Music changes brain chemistry and brings joy and increased brain function to everybody. So together with Rotary, we are appealing to clubs globally to consider opening a music group or starting a music group in your community so that your seniors can have their lights turned on from darkness into light just by making music together. And socialization is so important, but the key is the music unlocks our pharmacies to allow our own chemicals to make us feel better. And our seniors need something to be able to make them feel better because there is no cure for these horrendous diseases at this time. I'm not sure if Anu mentioned to you, but we have, as part of our anatomy, we have storage cells, music storage cells in our brains that are scattered like stars. These music cells are generated when a fetus is 6 months in utero, and they're already hearing the lullabies played in the nursery or in the nursery to be, which is their little home to which they are coming. And these memory storage cells are replicating at 6 months in utero, and out of the womb, that child shows familiarity to the music that it heard while it was in gestation. And it is these music storage cells that never die. When all of the diseases running rampant in the brain are killing cells at high frequency, somehow the music storage cells stay intact. And my darling husband, Erwin, who passed 2 years ago, after 15 years of being on a journey with Parkinson's and dementia, what a rough journey for a family to endure. And when he was truly on his deathbed, and I would go in in the morning, take my little shakers, turn on the radio, start to dance and ham, and say good morning. He would, as a corpse to be, raise his hands when he heard the rhythm, then raise his knees so high that we were dancing on the brink of his crossing over. And so these memory storage cells are there for us to utilize and to promote music men's minds plays directly into that fact that our suffering seniors and the families can all enjoy music making as their continuum continues over the continuum of life. So we've really got such a gift to be able to share with everybody. And this is my deep, deep pleasure to be up so early. I normally don't do this, but I just couldn't resist being here to support Anu, who is a star rising, as you see, and to be able to greet you all personally from Los Angeles this morning. And we're both available to take questions.
Yeah, so if you have any questions, you would feel free to answer. I know we are a bit over schedule, so if not, then thank you so much for taking your time out of your day here and
Thank you, everybody, for giving us this wonderful opportunity. And it's holiday time for everyone. We all wish you the best happy holidays and a wonderful, healthy new year. Thank you, everybody. God bless you, Rita. God bless you all, Rotarians. So proud to be in your family.
Now request Dr. Ram to kindly come on the stage and Vinodji. Vinodji and Dr. Kara, please. For giving some felicitations to our honored guests. No, sir.
Sir.
This side. Dr. Archit. Dr. Vinu Vadu. Dr. Anubhav. I think you can carry one for Karen too. Yes, please. Yeah, okay. Very Sakshi Verma. Some of us missed, I believe she gave a beautiful lecture previously. Please. Yes, please.
Hi, good evening, everyone. So good to see you after so long. So first of all, thank you so much for recognizing me and my work. It really means the world to me. And I'm really grateful to Rotary Midtown Chandigarh for giving Gipti Herbs the opportunity to introduce itself and, for giving us a platform where we can bring Ayurveda to a larger audience. And I think we have Dr. Vidhu here to do the same today. And today I would like to make an announcement. So every time a Rotarian from across the globe consults at Yukti Herbs and buys takes medication, we will be giving 10% discount to the patient, and 10% of that sale would be donated to a Rotary project of the patient's choice. Thank you very much. We're looking forward to serving you soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your offer. I request Dr. Kalra to please give his expression of gratitude.
To you all, and I won't take much long because you're already over the salute. So I would like to thank the speakers first, Dr. Vidhu Vadera, for giving us an insight into what is happening regarding the Ayurveda in Australia and during a mammoth task, doctor. And it's nice that Ayurveda is being recognized all over the globe. I would like to thank Dr. Archit of Archie for giving us an insight into tarot practice. In fact, I'm a doctor myself, but I didn't have any idea about what tarot practice is. Although one of my patients told me that he's pursuing chiropractic. I was just wondering what is it. So you have made me aware, made all of us aware about that. And Indian medicine is being recognized all over the globe now. And I would rather say, we visited China once, and over there, the Chinese medicine and allopathic medicine, we had the camps there. And we could see that their medicine is being preferred over the allopathic medicine because they have given importance to them, to the science from the very beginning. Although we have rather neglected it, we have forgotten it. So it's good that we are all coming back in the Prime Minister Modi ji, I would say Ramdev, to bring back Ayurveda and yoga in the Indian system as well as all over the world. And it was an eye-opener for all of us. I must thank Mr. Anubhav. You are a scientist or a doctor?
Undergraduate student.
Undergraduate student. But this is part of medicine, right? Okay, because it's you are given the specialization from the very undergraduate section, and it's very good. You must be very intelligent, I know that. And then you must be able to understand the nuances of how the music is going to affect the mind, the brain cells, and all those things. So it's a very deadly combination, especially, and then you are a perfectionist yourself. That's good. Thank you. And it was an eye-opener for all of us. And I must remember our visit to your stall, Music Men Minds, when we went for this international conference in Houston. And we met Carol, of course, and she was so enthusiastic. And that's when Rita said that we are going to have a session with them, and we were successful. Thank you to Carol as well for getting up so early in the morning and giving us an insight about what Music Men's Minds is. And I'm sure it's going to take up very well in India as well. Myself being into music, I find it very soothing, and it's a biggest kind of relaxation when you are singing. So basically, I'm sure this is going to do well globally. I must thank Rotary Chandigarh for allowing us the use of Rotary House. This is a beautiful venue, sir, and we are happy that we are with you for this joint club meeting. And I rather would say that we should have these joint club meetings more frequently, because that is the Rotary spirit. Means we have to have the networking, we have to have the togetherness, and we have to know each other through these meetings, rather than conducting and doing our projects individually in our own club only. So this was a one step in that direction, and I'm sure we will keep doing it again. And thank you, President Vinod Kapoor, for that. I would like to thank a special thank to Sunani Guleria for being with us. And I must tell you that the last 3 CDs that you gave to me on your last visit to my clinic, I really loved them. Especially one song in which all the 3 generations have sung, I think, the same song. And it was amazing to know that, and it's amazing to always to hear you, all the 4 sisters now, all the 4 generations. So I enjoyed your song, and we are happy that you were with us. Thank you so much. Maybe Balram Gupta might persuade you to be part of our Rotary Club Chandigarh Midtown as well, and as an invitation from us. And for your information, we in our club again has a Rotary Action Group. This Music Men's Mind is also a Rotary Action Group. So we also have a Rotary Action Group called Sur Tal Rag. So all those people who are singing, they are part of that, and we meet every month for a kind of music session. All of us sing there, so that may be a very good attraction. Maybe all of us are going to then depressed with Thank you so much for being with us. And I must thank all the Rotarians of Rotary Chandigarh Midtown, all the Rotarians of Rotary Chandigarh, Rotarians, all the guests who have come here, especially the families of Dr. Vidhu Vadera and Dr. Mr. Anubhav, for being with us, for sharing this platform, and we will be always be happy to have you with us again. Thank you so much. And with this, we should conclude the meeting, and the meeting is adjourned, and from both of us. And we have high tea laid down outside, so please join us for high tea. Thank you so much. Always thank you very much.